doing? It's your girl Valencia coming back at you on this Saturday, September the 6th, 2025. I'm coming back today to give the most recent information that I have on the Dacara Thompson 19-year-old's case in Maryland. Unfortunately, Dakara's remains has been found and there has been an arrest made in her case. Apparently, the person, I even hesitate to call him a person or even a human being, but apparently and I don't want to give his name any recognition at all on me or my daughter's platforms. If anybody's going to get recognition in this live, it's going to be Dacara because she is the victim here. And the way that the details are coming out so far, even through court documents, is the inhumane, barbaric savagery that this person inflicted on that 19-year-old girl is beyond me. It sickens me. It just makes me to the point where I'm angry about it because this young lady was 19 years old. She had her whole future ahead of her. Apparently, she was a teenager that was really, really taking her life and her future seriously, to the point where, she had already started engaging in community activism and advocacy for her fellow human beings. So that definitely has struck me as angering, just to the pit of my soul, spirit, in reference to the details that are emerging about the fate of Dacara Thompson from Maryland, who has been missing since October the 21st or the 22nd. Apparently, Dacara sent a message to her father, which is whom she lived with, that she was going to be going out to get gas for her vehicle. It was approximately 1:30 in the morning. And from what I'm understanding so far, when Dacara had not returned home from just getting gas, by the next morning, it caused flags to go up for her father. Hello, William. How are you doing? I see you. Waving hey back to you. How you doing? Welcome to my live. Sorry that it's under these circumstances, but you all know my avid followers. Hi, Kimmy. How are you? Hi, darling. How are you? Um, so, yes, in reference to Dakara's case, apparently sometime the hours of 1 to 3 a.m. on August the 22nd or the 21st is still, kind of going back and forth. I'm just giving you all the most recent information. And as you all probably already know, and I know from my daughter Unique's case, sometimes the details that are coming out, especially the preliminary details, are, I don't want to say loose, but they're not. Loose is definitely not the word that I'm looking for. The word that I'm looking for is they're sheltering a lot of the information and details of the case to not compromise Dakara's case, because we have to realize that this whole thing will be going to a courtroom in front of a judge and a jury. So what I learned from Unique's case, having to deal with back and forth of the court system and, the U.S. Attorney's Office and, the detectives with the police department, is there are certain things that and information that will be released to the public, and there are certain things that won't. And that is to not compromise the investigation to the point of a loss when it comes in the court for the prosecutors, which, I didn't understand it at first, but once I got, into the details and everything, and fortunately, Unique had, the last people that worked on her case all the way up to the conviction were dynamite people. They were, so wonderful. I just, can't give Vinay Bryant and Detective Mike Fulton, Detective Michael Fulton, enough credit because they protected Unique's case sometimes even from me, which initially infuriated me, but over time, and definitely when we got to that conviction, I understood why, and I appreciated them um, even putting brakes on me. Because sometimes when we are in these situations, when our children are missing, you have so many people that are coming at you and they want information. Sometimes it's just to be nosy, and then sometimes it's to, be able to run and tell whatever little tidbit of information they can get for their little 2 seconds of fame in these situations. Oh, I know so and so, and her mother told me this, or her cousin told me that, or her uncle. It's just it's a messy situation that it shouldn't be. But when we're in these very, very delicate situations, sometimes we can be vulnerable. And I'm definitely speaking for myself. I was vulnerable and didn't understand that certain people were, let's just say, getting or trying to make themselves close to me in, statements like, oh, well, I'm here for you, I got you whenever you need me, just, I don't care when it is, just call me, and, blase, blase, blase. People are very cunning and manipulative when they're out to, let's just say, benefit off of you, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent. People really don't care about some people that are attention thirsty like that. They don't care what they have to do to get the information. They just want to get the information so they can either run back and tell it to whoever will listen to them. And then there goes your child or your loved one's whole investigation down the tube, because once one person tell one person, then another person tell another person, and so on and so on and so on. So that's why at this present time, I believe that they are being kind of cagey about information, and that is no direct slight to the public or anything like that, because in all actuality, they really don't have to tell the public anything, but I think that, first of all, to let the community and the public know that a safety threat has been neutralized is one reason why they give certain aspects of a investigation early on. So with that being said, in the case of Dacara Thompson, apparently, allegedly, from the information that's coming out thus far through court documents, which we all know court documents can be amended and so forth and so on. So I'm still going to, for lack of a conviction being in place as of yet, say allegedly, this person was an illegal here in the United States. He had been detained by the federal government Department of Justice back in April of 2025 this year, and ICE, in reference to what they're saying was some type of drunk driving charge or drug charge while operating a motor vehicle. Um, when back in April, for whatever reason, he was released from custody, even though it was a situation where he was doing illegal things as an illegal person in this country. Fast forward to August 2025 now, he's gotten his hands on a American citizen, 19-year-old Dacara Thompson, who, according to information that's coming out thus far, apparently met up with this gentleman, had a brief conversation with this gentleman, got into this gentleman's vehicle, and the reasoning why she would get into the vehicle with this person, I'm so anxious to find out, because I want to know, me personally, for my own information, is, was she forcibly put into the vehicle? And according to what they're saying, she had a conversation with this person for about a minute or so on the driver's side of the vehicle that he was driving, and then she walked around and got in on the passenger side of the vehicle voluntarily, according to court documents thus far. Now, my concern with that whole thing is, did he, like, pull a weapon on her to get her to get into the vehicle? Um, how did she know him? Why was she, comfortable enough to even approach his vehicle? What conversation did they have once she approached his vehicle, to the point where she got in and left with him? So far, it appears willingly. And then he transported her to a house where he was renting a room with family members and other people in the household in Bowie, Maryland, Cambridge Drive in Bowie, Maryland, which is where Dakara's cell phone pinged, as far as until it was disabled. It was disabled apparently after he had gotten her into his room of this house where he was renting a room. According to court documents, other people that were in the home remember him having sex with someone at approximately 5 o'clock in the morning on, I believe it was August the 22nd or the 23rd. And the person that apparently heard these sex acts being inflicted on Dacara didn't do anything like calling the law, knocking on the door trying to find out what was going on or anything. All they would say to the police investigating Dakara's case in reference to them hearing this person that, in my opinion, accosted her from a parking lot on a Family Dollar on University Boulevard in Maryland, before transporting her to this home where other people that was in the house heard him apparently having sex with this 19-year-old girl, Dacara Thompson. And according to their version, which is so far in court records, they stated that whoever he was having sex with or sex with was not enjoying the sex acts. Now, that is from the preliminary court documents so far that the police have obtained information from people that was inside of the house where he was renting the room. He has been arrested. He has been detained without bond. And ICE has also put a detainer back on him as of right now, in reference to Dakara's case. but Dacara has officially been identified as the body that was found in Anne Arundel County, Maryland, on Route 50, in Route 50 area, where apparently he disposed of Dakara's nude body over a bridge. And she was found because, in my opinion, divine intervention from God Himself. But apparently, the Maryland State Troopers had been called to the area where Dakara's body was for an unattended vehicle, or a broken down vehicle of some sort, some type of, you know, vehicle trouble, that they were investigating the vehicle. And apparently, in that investigation, it led them to the discovery of Dacara Thompson, 19-year-old, missing since August the 21st, 22nd, 2025, her remains. And just the inhumanity of taking this, in my opinion, baby's body and just discarding it nude over a bridge down into a wooded like side of the road area is as inhumane as you can get. But at the end of the day, I'm sure you all already know I will be following this case. And I will definitely do my best, or try to reach out to as many people as I can involved in Dakara's case. Not for information, but just to give my prayers and condolences to her family, and let them know that they are not alone, because I am a mother that lost my daughter to a psychopath as well. So, in that arena, I feel like, this is our unfortunate um, club of family members that have had to go through some of the most egregious, inhumane, and sadistic criminal cases that we probably ever. Some of these things you can't even make it up. I mean, because of the reality of it. And I mean real, authentic, genuine reality of it. Anybody that has a humane mind cannot fathom another human being doing some of the most vile, wicked, evil things and diabolical things to a human being, period. Least of all, a young 19-year-old girl with her whole life ahead of her, which apparently she was doing all the right things to secure her a positive and productive future. But it has now been cut short because Dacara has been unalived by a savage, barbaric, inhumane, animalistic creature. So that is my update for my social media family right now. I want to say to all of my social media family, please stay safe and blessed, and talk to your family members about, the dangers of, um, I don't want to say blowing off, but just letting down their guard as far as the safety net and the people that are around them, that will protect them. Please talk to people about not letting anybody talk them outside of that safety net, because this is where I see a lot of these problems are coming from. But on that note, have a safe and blessed weekend.